there was bloody handprints. It was like water at the bottom, and there's like bloody hand. I'm dead serious. Our inspector went down the death pit and even looked, and he's like, yeah, there were handprints, and we don't know what happened. We didn't find any dead bodies, but there were it was like 3 stories deep, and it was a death pit. So somewhere there's a dead body out there that, rest their soul.
How's my hair? Okay, good.
See, the hardest part is getting started, and that is actually a fact in real estate too. Because in real estate, we say you always get ready to get ready to get ready to get, and you just got to get out there and go.
Is that really
it's the same thing with podcasting?
How'd you
trying to get started here.
But how did you get started at Keller Williams? Where did it begin? Because you originally worked at Tesla, right?
So I actually got into real estate because of Tesla. I sold cars to a lot of real estate agents, and that's what introduced me to the real estate agent world. And I mean, honestly, I still am in touch with those people who I sold Teslas to. I was like, hey, can I get coffee with you? I'm thinking about getting my real estate license. And then I met this one girl, and she was like, just sign up and get your real estate license. And I literally signed up. 3 weeks later, I had all my classes done, and then got licensed that next month.
Wait, so you became a real estate agent in like 4 weeks?
Yeah.
That fast?
I decided just to jump into it full time. Yeah.
But how do you so you could take all classes online?
Mm-hmm.
Was that
back then I had to do it in person, but now you can do it online.
Was that through Keller Williams?
Nope. Was through a local college.
Okay, so then once you passed that, then what branch, did you start on your own, or did you officially just go to Keller Williams?
You have to join a brokerage when you get started in real estate. So I went to Keller Williams. They were my brokerage that I chose to partner with, and then started as an individual agent, and then slowly evolved into creating my own team.
Why'd you choose Keller Williams out of all of them?
I am very type A and OCD, and I interviewed them all. So
you interviewed them?
Interviewed them all because, I mean, you're choosing to work with them, and they're also choosing to work with you. So I interviewed Coldwell Banker, Remax, Huff, Sipsy Klein, all the good old brokerages. Yeah. And honestly, at the end of the day, I wanted a company who had a lot of training since I was new. Yeah. And they're the #1 training company in the world, industry-wide. So that was huge. And the fact that I could create my own brand with them was big. I didn't have to just follow their mold. I could pick what I wanted to be and what we wanted to look like. And then I loved their values. They were God first, family second, business third. And so to me, that was also really huge to see they're privately held and hold those values. And they're worldwide. They're the largest brokerage in the United States. So
is that an actual motto of them?
Yep. It's their value statement. Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible.
I know.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah. God first, family second, business third. And it's true. Our CEO, Gary Keller, or I don't know if he's our CEO, but the president, the owner, founder, he lives those values, and you see them in all the different brokerages around. So it's pretty cool. And they have a good pay structure. They're super supportive of their agents, and it's all about culture.
Well, it's worked out for you.
Yeah. It's been fun.
Top 1% of the nation's leading real estate agents.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
I know.
And top 20 real estate agents in Cincinnati. That's pretty awesome.
I know. Thank you.
And how long have you been doing this?
I got licensed in January of 2017.
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah.
In 4 years, you were able to achieve that. Yeah. And you have your own team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how many
So it's
ladies?
myself, and we have 7 girls in Cincinnati. 5 of us are agents. I have 2 amazing assistants and client care coordinators. And then we have a marketing specialist in Chicago. She's remote. And then we have other people who help support us too. But yeah, girl gang.
I always wonder, because I always see Facebook stories and all that. Do you do that, or is that your marketing specialist that does all
our
that?
Sarah Woody group tag, that one is not managed by me. So that's our marketing specialist.
Because I'm like, God, man, she goes home and she just does this all day long. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, we've learned to leverage. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Is I used to want to do it all, and I'm a controlling freak. So letting go and letting other people do the work has been super great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, I don't manage that.
So you've got a large team. Are you looking to continue to expand and like just continue to grow over the next decade?
I mean, probably that's the goal. I would say we love Cincinnati and I love Cincinnati. And so that's our main primary audience. We sell in Northern Kentucky, and then an agent on my team sells in Columbus. So we're slowly expanding out, probably staying in Cincinnati first. We'll see. I'm also licensed in Tennessee. So like maybe venturing down there eventually. But we'll see. I don't know. I don't know where it goes yet.
Yeah.
I think really being the best in your local markets, as long if you have to dominate that first, and once you do that, maybe then expand.
Yeah. Have you ever thought about going to like LA or New York or like
no
high profile areas?
It seems super fun.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get like lip fillers and
Would you have to get lip fillers and a boob job to sell out in LA? Yeah.
No, thank you. I love the show Selling Sunset. It makes me think about selling in LA. But
Is that the I don't even know if I've seen that. Is that the guy that like there's like there's bunch of guys?
Brothers.
Oh yeah.
It's twin brothers. I don't even know what they're called, but
why are there always twin brothers?
And they're like creepy and like I don't know. They have
is
a bunch
that
of like hot girls working for them.
But isn't that the what's that show called? It's like the twins that does like the home remodels.
Oh yeah, the renovations, the HGTV.
Why is it twins? Like why is it always twins?
I don't know, maybe I need to hire some twins.
Well, you've got sisters that when I first met you all, like you all look like twins. So like you might actually have a career in that. So anyway, so it's been a crazy market, crazy year.
Yep.
COVID's been absolutely insane. Obviously, like houses are selling crazy. I don't want to blame it on COVID.
Yeah.
But the housing market for some reason over the last year has just completely boomed.
I know.
Like no one ever expected it. Like my buddy Jay, that was on episode 2.
Yeah.
Shout out
to Jay.
Shout out that. He's his house, and I don't want to say what value it is, but it's probably around the 130 range, and he just sold it for like 185, 190.
I mean, you guys sold your house too.
Tell me about it.
I know.
But you're getting profits of $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 more than what it's actually worth. Like that, isn't that scary though? Like for a seller, for you, is that scary for your, potential buyers to say, hey, that you could be paying 70, 80 grand more and tomorrow it could completely just go flat? Like, I mean, like when is this bubble, or is it ever going to collapse? Like, is it just going to keep on growing? Because it's blowing my mind of how much profit there is in real estate. Like it makes me want to just go,
buy
whatever.
Houses. I know. Seriously. I mean, the market's been insane. I would say the thing that people kind of forget, though, is it was insane before even COVID.
Right.
So it's been insane. It's been a crazy seller's market nationwide, not just here in Cincinnati, but it's been a crazy market nationwide, honestly, since I've really been licensed as an agent. So I've only lived in an amazing, or like sold real estate in an amazing market. Yeah. I don't know if it's going to crash. I would say we've put so many disclosures and precautions in place since the last financial crisis that I don't think it'll ever be like it was before. But we tell people, I mean, it's hard as representing buyers right now because you have to tell them, hey, you're going to go into this house and you're going to overpay, and just expect to overpay if you want to buy a house right now. And you probably won't be able to sell it for a couple years before you make profit. But I'm not an economist. I can't really predict where the market's going to go. So it's hard for me to right now advise people on some of the things you have to advise them on. Like, okay, we're going to go into this house and you're going to pay $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 above list price. Just be prepared. There's going to be over, I had a listing this year or last year with over 50 offers on it. Like I had a spreadsheet going. And so you're going to be competing with a bunch of other people. You're going to probably waive inspections, but I can't advise you to do that. But
I was going to say in a 50 list of individuals interested in a house.
Oh my gosh.
Like you're obviously going to the top dollar and the top person that says, I don't want an inspection.
Can close fast, can probably have no contingencies.
Right.
No matter what, we're probably keeping your earnest money if you back out. Like, I mean, it sucks, but it's like the things you have to do to get an offer. I've seen, we call them like love letters in real estate. Like you have these like love letters that you write.
Like they write
Did you
letters.
guys get a love letter in your house? I can't remember. But
yeah,
you'll get like love letters where people will be like, literally being like, pick me, I'm so desperate. And low key, they're kind of like against fair housing, but like sometimes they're just super desperate, like desperation letters of like why we should pick you to buy our house. But,
I think Jay actually wrote a love letter.
Oh, for sure, he wrote a love letter.
He honestly, he should have came on and actually read it, because like I would have loved to hear. Like,
Jay, we're gonna feature your love letter.
Yeah, but that's crazy.
But I advise it
do you
too.
ever read it?
Oh, I always read them.
Do you always read? You're like, okay, I'm
the part
going
of
to
my
keep
job I
this
love the
sealed
most.
and I'm going to take it to the homeowner and you read it.
I mean, I send them to my homeowners, but
Right.
you don't have to if it violates like fair housing.
Right.
Technically. So, I mean, yeah, but that's my favorite part of the job. And even as representing buyers, I'll tell them like, okay, these sellers seem super emotional. Clearly they love their house. They have 4 kids they've raised here and a dog and Jesus stickers around their house and Bible verses. So we're going to write that we love Jesus and we're going to raise our 4 kids in this house and keep their memories alive. And that crap works. So I don't know.
So when would you go, do you see a lot of houses that have like that little, that cheesy stuff you get from Walmart that just says like hope never dies
laugh,
or live, laugh, love or forever, always or whatever. Do you see that a lot?
It's like my mom's house. Shout out to my mom, Hobby Lobby. Yes, all the time. But that gives away a lot. Do you
really? I can't believe that is so popular that people just put that cheesy stuff on their walls.
Yeah.
Shout out to
the people who put their stuff on their walls.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's cute. I mean, but I will say like so our team recently this past year, and I'd say late last year, we started staging houses as well as like a value proposition on our team. So we have a staging company too, and Kristen on our team, she's the one who like heads that up. And so it's hard sometimes going into houses because you're like, and we're going to take this down and we're going to take this down. And like this cute picture that you had of your 4 kids, we're going to take this down. And we're like, yeah, you have to tell them like live, laugh, love is off the wall.
Has that benefited you in the long run, having like that staging process?
It's definitely, I mean, you need it anyways because that's part of the value you hire real estate agents for is to help stage your home. But we also have it as a great passive income stream too.
Do you have like people that say, hey, yeah, the house is ready, and you go over there and thinking that it's amazing, but it's absolutely just ridiculous what they at their level? That's got to be funny.
It's hard. I feel like in the beginning it was really hard for me to be more assertive and like this is ugly. You need to take this down.
Right.
And now I'm just like, you know what? We're trying to sell your house, right? For top dollar, right? Okay, we're going to take all this down. And it's the same thing with like painting your walls.
Yeah.
If it's an Ohio State room, not everybody in Cincinnati likes Ohio State, so we're going to paint it neutral.
Right. Shout out to Michigan. If you're a Michigan fan.
Shout out to Michigan.
So all the houses that you've been in, like, tell me some stories of like horror stories that you took a buyer on a listing and you walked into what?
Yeah,
like, what's the craziest?
That's our favorite thing on our team. So we keep a journal.
You keep a journal like a burn book.
It's like the crap you see in real estate book, and it's literally we should start our own Instagram.
You should. Like, honestly, I would follow that. I think a lot of people would too.
I think it's so funny because I mean, just between us 5 agents alone, gosh, the stories we have. I was like texting them earlier, like, what kind of stories do we have? It's hilarious the things we've seen. I mean, my very first showing I've ever had in my entire life, I was a brand new agent. I had just got started in real estate. I had never shown a house in my life. And I was like so nervous to go into a house with, to show a house because I didn't even know what you do back in the day. And so this real estate agent's like, hey, can you bring my clients to his house? I'm like, yeah, sure. I'll bring them through. Awesome. I got this. And so I was like prepped. I was there early and was waiting for them to show up. And it was this nice neighborhood. And I enter my little combo. I open up my key. I open up the door. And like in real estate, you learn now that you always knock before you open the door. And so instead of knocking my first time, we just barged on in.
Oh.
We just barged on in the front door, not expecting anything bad to happen because people leave when they're showing a house. But no, high school son decided to play hooky that day. And his girlfriend also was playing hooky. And let's just say...
No. Oh, no.
We walked in, and all I see is a naked butt. And I was like, I had never, my heart, when your heart rate just goes like, what? Like the adrenaline. And so I shut the door so fast. And I was like, you know what? I think we're just going to go to the next house, and then like we'll try to loop back to this house later. And like the buyers didn't know what happened. And they were like, what'd you see? And I'm like, let's just say boyfriend and girlfriend were playing hooky today. And they're like, oh my God. So on our way out, we were leaving, and the kid, like, thankfully I had clothes on at that point, and was running to my car and goes, please don't tell my mom. Like, don't tell my mom. And I was like, I got you, bro.
So like without like the actual first door
That
of
was
the house, like the very front of the house.
door. He was in
Was
the
he in the
freaking
family room or
family room on the sectional couch, man. Like
on the sexual couch, on the section
on the
couch?
sexual section.
Yeah, I mean,
What was he
sounds like it.
thinking? I mean, like,
Oh my god.
so that was my very, very first showing ever in real estate, and I was
Yeah,
like,
it's gotta be awkward because like you're probably on the outside of the house talking to the clients, being like, "Yes, it's from 1912, and yes, it's Victorian style, and yep, they got a really nice bush and a spacious backyard. Yeah, let's open the door." Then whoa, like you know what I mean? And they're inside doing.
now I knock every time.
Yeah, you have to knock.
I'm stressed
Or
every time
use
I
the
go. I say,
doorbell.
hello. That's my classic, like, hello. Yeah, that was so embarrassing. But yeah, we
Oh.
have real estate's great. You have so many stories. I mean, a member of my team, the funniest story recently we were showing duplexes, and when you show duplexes, a lot of times the tenants are still home
Right.
because they don't want to leave. And we were we were showing the guy, our buyer, this place, and we were like walking around, and let's just say the current tenant maybe had been selling some marijuana. And our tenant our buyer may have seen the tenant doing this, and then we saw an exchange of money happen, and then goods were given.
Drug deal.
And we were like, do we look the other way and pretend like we didn't see this? Yeah, that's definitely what we do.
Oh my god.
What in the world?
That's
Some people.
crazy.
But yeah, we have so many good stories. So many good stories. I mean, we sold a house with a death pit in it this year.
A what?
A death pit.
A death pit?
100% a death pit. I mean, it was like,
What's a death pit?
it was like 3 stories deep.
Oh, you mean like
I'm not kidding.
it could fall apart.
I don't even
like
know what
a
it
money
was.
pit. A money pit.
It was like a well, and there was bloody handprints. It was like water at the bottom, and there's like bloody hand. I'm dead serious. Our inspector went down the death pit and even looked, and he's like, "Yeah, there were handprints," and we don't know what happened. We didn't find any dead bodies, but there were It was like 3 stories deep, and it was a death pit. So somewhere there's a dead body out there that, rest their soul.
Huh.
They backed out because it was scary.
Oh, so you didn't sell that house.
No, we did not sell. We put an offer on it, and we went through inspections, and they were like, "No way, Jose, too scary." But yeah, the real estate, you get some good stories. That's definitely what I love about this job is every day is different.
In this type of market, though, over the last year, has there been a lot of individuals that are getting houses with 0 inspections? Has it gone up? I'm sure it has.
Yeah. So much so that our brokerage has created a disclosure document saying, for our protection, get a home inspection. And so we send that out to our buyers when they purchase a house, saying, we advise you to get a home inspection, and we're going to check if you accepted it or waived it. Because yeah, you have to waive inspections to get houses right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, totally.
But what do you think is, let's say that I was a first-time home buyer or I was a second-time home buyer, and I was just like weary of that. What would you like? What's the value on waiving an inspection? Is it like $10,000? It's like $7,000, $8,000. You know what I mean? Because like you're going in with risk.
I mean, so creatively, like I have a buyer under contract right now who we were like, okay, we don't want to waive inspections, but we want to get this house. So how about we still do a home inspection, and we won't ask for any repairs to be made if it's under $2,500.
Right.
Which, how do you quantify things? I mean, I guess with quotes, but so they accepted us because we waived our right to negotiate anything under $2,500, and there was like nothing really on it that was under that. But yeah, you can't really quantify it because you don't know what's going to come up, and that's the scary part about waiving inspections is it's like you don't really know what you're waiving.
Right.
So you can always back out for other reasons, but that's a big contingency to waive. It's kind of scary.
So you've been in the business for now 5 years,
So
right?
long.
But still though, you were talking about like
4
starting
years.
Instagram, or we were talking earlier about a podcast, and like you like train people.
Yep.
Like you're starting that whole thing. So
Yep.
Anyway, so you train people. Like, where do you see that going? Like, do you see that? Like, do you see like a Sarah Woody group like training webinar or like a Zoom call, or like are you going to get more into that? Because I feel like you have been very successful over the last 4 years.
Thanks. Yeah.
I mean, that's fact. So like, how do you expand that on to keep being creative and pushing obviously your success? Because obviously everyone wants to be top 1% in the nation or top 20 in Cincinnati. So how do you like where's your mind going on what you want to do next?
Yep. So, I mean, really, it's hard because it's the struggle of an entrepreneur sometimes. Like, you always are thinking of new things that you can do or like ways you can make money, or passive income.
It drives you nuts.
It drives you nuts.
Yeah.
But real estate is such a great industry to have so many different avenues of what's next that right now, I would say last year in 2020, our word of the year was growth. And so we were really focused on just growing our team. And then the year before that was leverage. And I don't really know what next year's word of the year is going to be. This year was structure, which is kind of funny, like looking back at it, but not very much structures. We've had a lot of structure with our assistants, but I would say like our growth strategy right now is just really to invest in our people on the team. But yeah, last year my goal was to every month teach at least one class. Yeah. And so teaching a class on whatever the topic might be, like lead generation or real estate 101, like what your first year of like real estate looks like, getting started. But yeah, I don't know. Our staging company we're investing a lot in this year. Our team we're investing a lot in this year. I don't really have a huge interest in like flipping houses myself. So like, I think just growing kind of what we have now and then maybe moving into other markets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I spaced a little bit on what that question is.
Yeah. No, that's good. I think you have an opportunity. How old are you? 30? You just turned 30, didn't you?
30.
Yeah. I think your 30 to 40 year is going to be
huge,
pretty exciting considering the last 5 years that you've had. Yeah. So I think you just keep on working because you're on a roll. So I have on here that Miss Gracie put on here.
Her assistant.
666 dead bird.
That was me.
What does that mean?
Oh my God.
Did we talk about that?
No, that was just one of my stories. We showed a house this year and the address was 666. And I don't remember the name of the street, but it was 666 whatever street. And when we went through the house, we were like, okay, it's 666. Are you sure you still want to see it? And they're like, yeah. I'm like weird about that. And so we saw the house. And when we went through the house, there was a dead bird in the house. And we were like, okay, this is definitely our clue to get the F out of here.
Where was it, though? Was it like in the second floor, the first floor, in the bathroom, in the basement?
First floor, just in the corner of the house, dead bird.
Was the house staged? Did you
shout out to Alyssa and Cody because they know what's up. They were the ones on that showing. They did not buy the house. We got out of the house so fast.
You got out of the house? Was it overpriced?
I don't remember.
I mean, obviously, if
it was just so scary. There was something else about the house that just was like, okay, 3 things we got to get out of here. But the address was 666, and we were like, something bad's gonna happen.
That's so sad because like
definitely
I feel
a ghost in this house.
Like you as a real estate agent, obviously we sold my house last year, and obviously I used you, but like I feel like we tried to do the best that we were crazy about it. We were
getting it ready.
I was like sweeping the driveway at like 4 a.m. I was like mowing the grass at like 5 a.m.
Painting the floor,
I was painting stuff. Yeah. Like we were crazy about it.
Yeah.
And I can't fathom that like not go crazy about it and then all of a sudden the first showing there's a dead bird in the corner. Like I would have saw a dead bird. So it fascinates me on like
this was a vacant house, probably investor owned.
Yeah, but still though, like
I would never buy a house at 666.
Like if you want to sell property, if you want to take it seriously, like you got to at least make it look halfway.
My personal favorite are when people take their own cell phone pictures of houses and like it's a picture of them in the bathroom mirror with the toilet seat up. I'm like, you couldn't A, put the toilet seat down, but B, like you couldn't just get yourself out of the photo.
I think I don't know, like you took professional photos of our house.
It's so important.
I like it's so important, but like I feel like I could take some decent photos. But like some of these photos that you see of people like taking them pictures of themselves in the mirror with the toilet seat up, it's like, what are you thinking? Like, do you not look at the photo, or
are you
just
trying to like get the most money for your house?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, especially when it hits their pocketbook. It doesn't.
I know, and that's why, like, I mean, shout out to the people who can sell their house for sale by owner, but there is a ton of value you add as a real estate agent to like help guide the process, bring in professionals, and like, I mean, gosh, the photography is in this day and age the most important thing because that's your first impression on your house. And
yeah,
the crooked photo that you take portrait of your house is not going to grab people's attention.
So here's a question. So I when I first started the housing market, like to a first time home buyer, how long until you give up on those first time? No, not my search. Like you give up on the client that's a first time home buyer. Because I'll tell you my story.
Yeah.
Like I was a first time home buyer and I had a girl for like maybe a week and a half, and she
The
literally
real
said,
estate agent.
she said, "Fuck you, like I'm out. Like here's
Peace
some
out, good
recommendations."
luck.
Then I got moved to another girl that was absolutely horrible. She was with me for like 3 weeks and basically said, "Fuck you, peace out." All right. Then I got moved on to a guy named Grant. I said, "Screw it, I'm not going to get a real estate agent to buy a house."
Yeah.
And I got moved to Sipsy Klein with this guy named Grant, and I think I'm still friends with him on Facebook. He was phenomenal.
Well, that's good.
But like I literally sent him a message and said, "Hey Grant, I'm going to buy this house. I need to
house.
see it tonight."
Yeah.
And he's like, "All right, cool." We went to go see the house. That was the house that I bought in Norwood. And he was, but he was like, he was awesome. Like it would be so cool to link you guys up because he was such a cool agent.
I'd love to meet Grant. With Sipsy Klein.
But like I had 2 real estate agents give up on me.
I know, that's sad.
Like it happened like within weeks.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, but like, and I I don't really blame the first one because the first one, like my mom's controlling,
But
but
there's
she
a
was
lot of moms involved in processes.
yeah. I mean, you have moms and dads that are trying to look out for their kids, and then they might get a little too crazy, like
Yeah,
and I don't know. It kind of pushed them away a little bit. Because she's like, "Hey, do you want to make a bid?" And I'm like, "Well, I've got about 55 questions right now. Like, what's the energy efficiency on every window in the house? And what's the plumbing look like? And was there an inspection done? And like, I don't know." So
and I would say that's why you hire a top real estate agent. I mean, the last year, the fact of 2020 was 9, and this is Cincinnati, so I don't know if this is nationwide, but I would assume it's close. 93% of all the houses sold last year were from the top 7% of the real estate agents.
Really?
In Cincinnati.
That is crazy.
The top 7% sold 93% of the business. So
that is absolutely
I don't
nuts.
mean to be like sad about all the other real estate agents, but most people are doing it part-time or not really at all. And so it's really important to work with a real estate agent who does this full-time.
Yeah.
And who is available to show you houses because you have to be available. And you have to be educated on, like, you learn what your client wants. Like today I went on a showing and I told her ahead of time, like, you told me you didn't want a house with a basement bathroom, and that's one of the bathrooms. Why are we going to see this? Do you still want to see this? And so I call people out on the stuff that I know is important to them. And so it's sad. I would say most of the time we don't have to let our buyers go because we vet them. And we have something called a buyer's consultation process that goes through the entire process with them, and we ask them, it's like 17 questions. And we get to know what they want, what they need. There's rare times, but we have let buyers go, but it's super rare. It's more so on like a culture values reason than they just can't find a home. On average, our team statistics right now is we show people 6 houses and they buy a house. That's pretty low.
That's honestly really good in this market because like houses are selling astronomically fast. A
lot of people end up writing more than one offer on a house because this market.
And then I like the first agent that I had that let me go. She was like really bougie.
I think he's like sad about this.
I am. I'm a little bitter. Like shout out to her because I'm gonna add you on this podcast and you're gonna see it and you're gonna feel guilty. But like
maybe
she was
out
like,
of the business now.
Oh my no, I don't have no idea. She told me that. Well, I basically sell houses in Hyde Park, and that's really all I did. So, like, I was taking her to the ghetto. Like, I'm not kidding. I met her in Hyde Park, and I literally dragged her ass to the ghetto, to Price Hill. She went to Price Hill. Okay. We went to the Incline District. Loved that house. Put an offer on that. Didn't work out. Then we went like deeper in Price Hill.
Oh God.
And she looked so out of place there. Like I was just like, "What's up?" Like, I'm making, at the time I was making like $45,000 a year. I'm like, this is what I can afford, right? I'm by myself.
Cross-hill budget.
I got nothing else. And there's
the
certain
houses
pretty,
there are gorgeous.
There is some pretty like Price Hill.
I know you showed me the one house you loved.
Oh my God, I would like hopefully one day Price Hill gets it together down there because like the Incline District is
beautiful, gorgeous.
Like, so anyway, I don't like her very much, but she dropped me.
It's true. Like people sometimes claim to be like, "Oh, I only sell in blah," and I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Why?"
But then, no, I don't mean to interrupt you because she's waving her hand. But like she was like doing tons of like remodels. Like she would buy houses and do flip them in Madisonville, and she was constantly showing me that house, and I'm like, okay, the next door house, like the next door neighbors is like $90,000. You're trying to sell me this thing for $300,000.
Not worth it.
And it doesn't make any sense because it's like a 1-story.
And that is the hard part
paint.
because we get bad reputations in real estate a lot of times as like I mean, it's like used car salesmen. They get bad reputations. It's the same thing in real estate. And it's, again, because most people don't sell houses as much as the top people do.
Right.
And so it's sad when I hear stories of people that don't put their buyers or sellers top of mind.
Yeah.
And they selfishly are like pushing their own agenda.
Yeah, it felt nice because like the first 2 agents I had was absolutely horrible, and then Grant was just super awesome.
Shout out to
and
Grant.
He was very much like you, where like you felt comfortable during the process, and like I didn't feel like I was pushed towards anything. Like I felt it was very organic. You know what I mean?
And we always say too, like I want them to be. I always say, like, my quote is just so overused on my team. They hate me for saying this all the time, but you'll get Sarah, your friend, through the process, who's going to be willing to tell you, like, hey, maybe you look this area, and just be real with you. And then you'll get Sarah, your real estate agent. So you get Sarah, your real estate agent, who's the professional, and then you also will get Sarah, your friend. So, and it's true. It's like kind of like a breakup when you close on a house. Sometimes you're like, I'm gonna miss you.
Right. And it's cool though too, because like I've seen you interact with like people that you've sold houses to, or that they bought from you or whatever.
We were David and I were walking to get graters 2 days ago, and we saw my clients eating graters, and they're like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
like, because like I don't feel that way. Like honestly, then anyway, so you helped us sell our house in Norwood, and then through the whole Fisher's process, we went with some freaking lady that obviously, like, we just went to Fisher's home. They're like, yeah, this is what we do. Like, I'm the one that sells you the house. If you want to buy a house, I sell you the house. So we went with her. And
she emails me all the time.
I hate that girl. Like, I don't like her at all. Shout out to her. Don't like you. Just added you on Facebook or Instagram, whatever. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, she pulled up. Like, she drove down the street. Like, this is a good story.
We're cutting this out.
She was literally This is good. I was driving home, all right, and I was already mad. And I just had a bad day, had a rough day. We all had that.
Never.
And I drove like around like the bend, and I pull into the driveway, and like I couldn't even pull in the driveway because there's this car that was like going fast. So like it stopped me before I went in the driveway, and I'm like, who the hell is
Of your own house?
Of my own house.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, who the hell is this? And I just see like some person, they're like waving and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, whatever. So I pull into the driveway. Okay.
Yep.
I get out of the car, and the car like stops in the street, rolls down the window.
She gave you a gift?
And she's like, hey. And I literally turn around, and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? And I turned around, and I went back in the house, and that was the person that sold me this house.
Did she live in your neighborhood?
No.
I'm scared.
She was probably selling some other house or whatever. Oh. But what irritated me is that I need to know the specifics. Like when it comes to buying a house, I need to know stuff that I need to know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I was a crazy house buyer.
No.
But like, if you're going to tell me that I can't have a fence in my yard, I should have you should say that. Hey, I just want to let you know, do you have dogs? Yes, I have 2. Okay, well, fences aren't allowed. You should probably say that.
You didn't know that?
No, didn't know that.
Yikes.
Also, too, if you're going to sit there and like hype this whole like, hey, there's no pool, but there's a butterfly garden. Why don't you just tell me it's 2 freaking twigs out by a sewer pond?
Butterfly garden?
That like eventually, it's like a butterfly garden exhibit.
Are there actually butterflies?
No, there ain't shit over there.
There
but
might
like,
be a moth.
God, man, a lot of bugs. Like I'm in the Facebook group. Shout out them. There's a lot of bugs in this pond over here. It needs to go.
Ew.
You know, but
But that's salespeople for you, and
I don't know.
That's the hard thing, like differentiating yourself as, yes, I have a salesperson's license, but you can be not the.
Yeah, I mean, it's like any job that you have in life. Like you could be what the job is, or you can be more than that and be great, which is what you're doing. Like she is just sticking to the salesperson.
Yeah.
Agenda.
And I honestly think, like, I know this sounds so cheesy, and I'm sorry, now I'm becoming a Hobby Lobby quote, but I feel like our team, one of the things that's made us so successful is I have a big poster board in our office, and it says, work hard and be kind to one another.
Right.
And I swear, just by being a nice human being will get you so much farther than anything else. I want the reputation of known being like, oh my gosh, Sarah Woody, like we want to work with you, versus like, oh gosh, because there are those real estate agents. Like we as a team will see real estate agents' names and we're like, gotta do another deal with them.
Yeah.
Or like, do we even want to show their house? And I'm like, I feel like the culture that if anything that our team leaves with, like, you have to be nice to one another. Be nice. That's all it is.
You have to
work hard and be nice.
I mean, I think in this generation, it seems like overlooked, but like being genuine and actually caring about people and doing the right thing and being a good person is so undervalued.
know.
But like it's such a gem though. It's like a diamond in the rough. Like when you meet somebody that's such a genuine person that actually cares about other people, and like other than just being like the slime ball like salesman just trying to get you to buy something or sign a contract, like it that holds weight. And then I mean, as far as like the longevity, they will always be a salesperson for Fisher Homes. You know what I mean? Like that's all they're ever gonna be.
Aww.
And that's fine. And maybe that's what they want. Like I don't dock that. Like people want to just take care of their family, but like actually having that genuine personality and caring about people is gonna, I mean, it's gonna just skyrocket you.
I mean, that's like the most fun part about my job too, is like I'm always through the process thinking like, ooh, like what can I like do that's like super fun for them, or like what how can I think about them?
Right.
And we have this like, I swear my group chats are the most hilarious part about my job. I'm like, I should screenshot all my group chats and just like make a Instagram channel for that too, because it's so funny. Like you become such good friends with them, and just being genuine is so important. But yeah.
You got a good team.
We do have a good team, the girl gang.
You should add more guys.
I don't know.
Team. I think eventually you'll get to it. I mean, girls are fantastic. I'm not saying like girl power. Like I grew up with my mom, my sister, my grandma. I love girls. Girl power.
You do? You love girls?
No, I just like one girl. That's my wife. That's it. But I mean, I think guys would be nice. Like, you know what I mean? Like just one guy. Like, I mean, but whatever.
Here's what we say. We joke like we can't just hire one guy. Like if we hire one guy, we're gonna have to hire two guys because that one guy's gonna be traumatized joining our team. I mean, think about it. Coming into our office in the morning. So we have Monday morning meetings. I'm like, coming into our office on Monday morning as one guy, he'd be scared.
Right.
He'd be terrified. I mean, like girls we're kind of gross. But
I mean, do you guys have like a group text message where you're like sharing stuff that is not work?
Yeah, sometimes it's called the girl gang.
What is like? Cause you and your sisters have the cheetah girls, and like,
what
is with you in groups?
I don't know. We just like, I'm just an attractor.
I've never had like a group text message where I had like.
It's maybe because you're a dude.
Maybe.
But like, no, it's the most fun thing is to have the group chats of like the funny stories that happen, or embarrassing stories, or gross stories. It can be all of the above.
Yeah.
Or funny, or. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll let you know when we get a dude on the team.
Well, I look forward to that.
We're not like not hiring a guy in case somebody's asking.
No, that's good. Like I think like, are you looking to grow? Like, are you looking to have like 100 people eventually one day? Like,
I don't know,
like 50 people? Or are you wanting to keep it close knit, or
so
are you
I would
content
say
with how things are now?
I never thought I had actually like. So the funny thing is I became a real estate license. I became licensed in real estate and never even knew what teams were. Are you swishing your fireball? I'm just kind of scared by that. But like I became licensed and didn't even know.
Good stuff.
What? I never even knew what teams were. And so it happened by accident, like default, and it wasn't even planned at first. So when I actually intentionally was like, okay, let's grow, like work smarter, not harder, and leverage, that's when it became more intentional. So I don't know. Like, I mean, we just hired a new person on our team last month. And we probably will grow this year maybe by one more. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't really have a plan yet.
Yeah, well, that's good. Just
world domination.
Keep growing, though, because I think that you have a great future ahead of you.
Wow, thanks.
I'm not trying to plug you. I'm just trying to say, like, bright. I mean, in 4 or 5 years, that's pretty incredible. And I think you just need to just keep building that confidence and building that structure of that you genuinely care about people and connect with people, and like good things will happen. I don't think you need to like sit there and say, hey, in 5 years, I need to have a 500-person crew and I need to have a multi-gazillion-dollar business. Because I know you already have like a multi-million-dollar business. I mean, you sold, how many houses did you sell last year?
Last year we sold 127, I believe.
Insane.
This year we're on target for 175, but we'll probably end up closing more than that. But
absolutely insane.
It is insane. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's that's
I don't know.
unheard
I would
of.
say like in the beginning, I was really focused on like, I'm very competitive, and I like to crush goals, and I like to beat other people that I like look up to. But a lot's changed to be more like, how can I enjoy my quality of life though too? Because working hard is, you can put in
it's
60,
a price.
70, 80 hours a week.
It's a price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all like people that are extremely successful, they're working 7 days a week, 6 days a week, and it's
sure.
absolutely destroys your body and your mentality and your sanity and your home life and your work life balance. And it takes a lot to commit to doing that. You know what I mean? But sometimes in the back of your head, you don't have to do that.
No.
Like there should be a balance of like that you have 1 day or 1.5 days off where you could just completely have like a mental.
Yeah, I don't really know what that is.
I
gotta
know, but
remember what that is.
it's so difficult. Like I do it too. Like I've worked 9 days straight, like, and did not have a single day off. And it's very, very difficult to do that. Like it's like not the average person does that.
No.
Because that's
I've like
worked,
an entrepreneur's probs, like a person who loves to work and a person who loves business. It's like hard because you find a lot of value in it too. And so I definitely get value in like, I love to work, which is rare to hear people say that. Like I do love my job and I like enjoy helping, like even, but right before this, I was like texting with one of my clients and, you know, it's like really hard to sometimes just like let go of it and be like, I'm going to stop texting people tonight.
Right.
I don't have to respond until the morning.
It's hard too when you have your own business, but you should always take time for yourself and enjoy time with your family and loved ones. Always.
I know.
So anyway,
wow.
Thank you for coming on.
Thanks
that was
a
a long conversation, but a good conversation.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to reach out to Sarah Woody, do you have an Instagram, a Facebook account?
Yeah, our Sarah Woody Group Instagram page is probably the best way to reach out to us, or sarahwoody.com. Feel free to hit that up too.
Oh yeah, you got a Facebook group too. So
yeah, Facebook too. We have all three. I mean, Sarah Woody Group on Facebook as well would be awesome.
It's very marketed, so I'll put that all on the page.
Hit us up. We'd love to help you find your first home.
For our 20-30 viewers out there, like, hey, hit up Sarah Woody because she's pretty awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.